Hello, beloved friends. Today is Friday, June 5th, 2020, a day we've been waiting for. Today it is 12:12 Central Daylight Time in the United States, and it is time for Awareness Moments with Kyra. And I want to invite us today to be aware that we're stepping into, in 2 hours from now, we are stepping into the lunar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse. And this is a powerful, poignant energy at this time, and time for us to be aware that we are in such a powerful reset in this world right now. We all know that. We're watching it, we're feeling it, we're experiencing these things, but we have choices of what do we do in this moment of all that we've known being shaken up and I guess disseminated. Instead of it being what we've known it to be, we're in this unknown mystery that's unfolding. But we can have a knowing with us, in us, even in the unknown. Yes, what's coming and the way it's coming and the way it's happening, we don't have any control over. But we do have the opportunity to open ourselves to the realization of the divine awareness, the realization of the light of all, the realization of our oneness with creation, and begin to operate from that space in us that aligns us to the highest vibration and frequency. I watched my friend Baba Mahadev photos online today that were just marvelous. And I'm going to acknowledge, first of all, Joe Stanley and Kimberly Wright and Mary Helen Merzbacher and Kimberly Rosenthal. Glad to have you from all the places that you are and others that will be joining us. We know that we have an even more powerful presence together. And so I'm thankful for you, and I feel your energy, your light, and your awareness making a difference here. So thank you for being here. And it is a time for us to begin to notice. And I noticed today that Baba Mahadev, who was already in the full moon experience in India, had photos of being with children, with a group of children leading meditation. It's some of the most beautiful photos to see those children sit there in meditation with their teacher, their spiritual leader, and open themselves to the infinite universe. I think they have such a power and presence as children because they're not infected. They're still in a purity of consciousness. And we have a choice right now to choose, are we in a purity of consciousness? This is a great place for us to take a look and say, am I staying true to that infinite awareness in the midst of the hurricane around me? Now, literally, we may have a hurricane touching shore this weekend as well, and we're blessing that experience. But we still have the choice to stay in the eye, stay in the center point, to stay in the purity of knowing that something magnificent is happening here. There is a transformation that looks like total chaos. It is taking and wrenching our guts and wrenching away the old ways of being. And it's saying we cannot exist in the way that we've been. That way of life has to be shifted for us to be inclusive of all, for us to open to this next experience. And lunar eclipses are like that. It's a shadowing, it shadows that which has been because it can no longer be that which we're actually reflecting and holding in our consciousness. Let's be the pure light of truth, the pure light of peace. Welcome Kimberly Rosenthal and Domingo DePara and Jessica Murphy and Perry Winston. I'm so grateful for each of you. And we get to have that choice in our own being. Is it easy? No. I have many coaching clients and spiritual coaching that I do, and they say, oh, let me come and just have a session and it's all going to get better. Well, it's great to have an awakening and to have an experience, But even after awakening, we've been told by the master, chop wood and carry water, right? We've been told to, lift up a stone and I am there. And in every experience, we get the choice. Are we aligning and experiencing the purity of that divine awareness in the midst of every experience? Are we doing the work to transform ourselves, to really let go of that which believes we're something other than the purity of the divine, or that anyone or anything could be separate from the purity of the divine? It's hard when we're in this world and we're identifying with what's here to perceive and experience and begin to live from that. But our invitation at this time, this is a time more than ever that we're being invited to say, am I really living from the knowing within my soul, from the truth of my being, from the light presence and the awareness as I take whatever inspired actions are mine to take. This is certainly a time we're inspired in various ways. But the more we resist, the more we fight against something, the more we place energy out that is pushing against for it to be different, the more we're participating at a level that is not holding a higher truth in consciousness. I'm not saying don't go out and march, or don't go out and stand in your truth. But where are you doing it from? What is true for you? Are you staying in that purity of childlike wonder, experiencing every moment miracles? Every moment is a miracle of existence. Everything has that beauty and magnificence of this inner life available to us. Are we aware of the inner at the same time we're experiencing the outer? See, when we can learn to just spend time and notice everything going on within us, notice everything outside, but then bring our awareness to both and, we begin to melt away the separation between ourselves and all of existence, to the identities that we've claimed. And then we continue to do that. We continue to come back to that purity of childlike wonder. We continue to come into the awareness that we are more than this body or this thoughts or the feelings that run through my body. Let me instead continue to know truth and begin to notice the glorious wonder of this world. I am deeply touched as I think about the beauty and the wonder in every single being on this planet, and every single being deserving my respect and my wonder and awe and reverence for the life that they are, and the beauty that surrounds me. I sit in this environment, of course, that I've created and the divine has created, actually, and then I get to experience. And with my beautiful yard and the light of the sun and beauty surrounding me. But the truth is, I live in beauty wherever I am, because that is inside of me, that childlike awareness that, oh my gosh, and sometimes beauty doesn't look like what we think it should. It's not just about, oh, it's a beautiful scene or a beautiful experience. Beauty is in the poignancy of the depth of our experiences, of the deep grief, of the anger that needs to be released, and an experience of it coming up and out so that we can see it for what it is and experience and free ourselves and free the world from living in that kind of suffering and separation. Suffering and separation are not truth. And yet we have bought into that for so long. We have default patterns to go to suffering. And if it's not really what's necessary, if it's possible that we can live in awareness, then all of a sudden we no longer are taking on the patterns of suffering and continuing to perpetuate those. I desire every one of us, it's my greatest hope that we can come to a place of inner freedom, of inner awareness, where we're no longer operating from those beliefs that would keep us in bondage to suffering, that would keep us in bondage to separation. We can be free here and now and live in the wonder and identify, experience the miracles, or really they're just the divine operating as it always does. Welcome to Bobby Fahey Sager, Helly Schweitz-Watley, Lisa Hogan, and Herbert Abramson. Great to have each one of you here with us. I think I touched on everyone. And I just want you to know that I consider you a walking representation of that divine light. And during this time, as the eclipse is happening, we're eclipsing away the old and opening to the new world that we're creating through the eyes of wonder, through the experience of our childlike purity that knows truth, and the awareness that we are more than this world's experience. And it is actually poignant and powerful and transforming right before our eyes. And we're part of the ground crew creating transformation. I am certainly grateful for each one of you, and I just bow in gratitude and in love and say namaste. Have a fabulous, fabulous lunar eclipse experience. Let it awaken. Let it bring awareness. Let it transform you into a being of wonder. Well, actually, you already are. Let your awareness be transformed. God bless you, friends. Have a great one. Bye-bye.